What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I did release a new song recently called Dreamin', so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. Okay, guys, let's talk about the Wild Season permit, and then I actually want to pivot to a broader conversation about the overall player base currently, because we're seeing a decline. Now, obviously, we've been seeing a decline in the Wild Season permits purchases forever. Not forever, but ever since it came about, right? It's been a while since we've seen any kind of either steadiness or growth. And here we are. There's about a day and a half left in the season. And it's been a shorter season, so take this with a grain of salt, I suppose. But you can see the season that started mid-February. And obviously, we're in a short month here. We are only at 2,035 total wild passes that have been purchased. It's down 4.2% from where it was last month, and it's down 89. This is the largest drop that we've seen since November, when we also dropped 89. But you can see here previous months, negative 46, negative 39, negative 28, negative 37. Again, the last time we had any kind of stability was in October of last year, which is crazy to think. It's like almost 6 months ago at this point, where we increased by 2, right? But the previous month we lost 137. Now, keep in mind, there was a massive shift in August when we got rid of vouchers as a way to pay for the Wild Pass or the Wild Permit. And ever since then, right, we dropped down to about 2596, right? So just under 2,600 players in that time frame. Now we are closing in on 550 player reduction or something like that. So it's significant, right? And I've said this before, and let me get away from this super bright screen here. We've seen over that time frame, right? If I just go to the last 6 months, let me get rid of all battles. You can see that Modern has definitely taken a higher percentage of overall battles. In fact, there's even some days, I think recently, that we've seen where there's more battles in Modern. But the other stat that I wanted to share with you here, and again, I'm just kind of loosely tracking this, but I just noticed that there was a significant drop off in the past week for daily active accounts, right? So all of a sudden now we're in the 4,000 range on daily active accounts. And these, keep in mind, I don't know what this tracks. It's not necessarily that they're even playing battles. I think it's just, somebody came in and logged into the account that day. And if we were to go and look at the 6-month average, right? Obviously there's a bunch of outliers here, which kind of throws things off, but it's 7,500 players. We look at the 3-month average, and that's at 8,100 players. But see, we're taking into account more of this. So let's get rid of that. And let's just look at the last month, and you can see about 6,000. But if I look at just the last 7 days, I mean, it's down to 4,300. And in fact, there's even some days, right? This is 4,000. So that's the lowest that I've seen. 4,037, 4,043. And what's fascinating to me is we're about to enter into the survival mode era of Splinterlands. And so for all the people saying oh, bots are going to come back online or whatever, well, we're not really seeing that. So first of all, hopefully that means that the botting for this is only going to be at the account level and not a mass farm level. I don't know, what that may look like in the future, especially if SPS starts to go up or the market recovers. But that's another part of this too, right? Splinterlands is not the only game suffering and struggling right now. The entire market on alts is down. I mean, even Bitcoin dropped down to 86,000, I think, earlier today. So all of this is starting to track, but it's been fascinating to watch this number, right? The daily active accounts go from 200 or almost 500,000, I think, back when it was May of 2022, and obviously even before that. But we're now approaching the 3-month mark since the reward update that happened in June of 2022. The whole ranked rewards change, and obviously all the subsequent changes from there that essentially just started removing bots. But we're getting to the point where we know how many real players there are. I've maintained in the game that I think that there's probably less than 1,000 real people, and there's a bunch of alt accounts. I have several alt accounts that I manage, right? I'm not necessarily logging into them, but it is what it is. So I don't know. This is why, and I know that I'm not trying to frame this as something super negative. I actually like the fact that we are going or getting into a place where we're going to get real numbers soon, and show what this community actually looks like and show how small it is. Not to be, not to like disparage it, but also to take it back to like the marketing when Andrew was talking about like, hey, the top tier games in the space, the top 3% have 100,000 daily or monthly active users. Like, we're not going to be able to get that, right? We're not even be able to probably get like multiple tens of thousands is what he was saying, which means that if we truly only have like, I don't know, maybe 1,000 accounts, 2,000 accounts, just doubling that with people who have the same kind of level of commitment that, folks like folks at my level or around my level, they don't need to be whales, right? Although I think, if whales did come in, that'd be awesome. But even just people who are willing to buy a couple cards here and there, a couple land plots here and there, and just kind of engage with the game, it could make a massive difference, like a massive, massive difference. So even if we're just talking about bringing in a couple thousand players, even just a couple hundred players, if they're the right types of players that do find this type of game engaging, that do have the capital to be able to buy in at a significant level, then yeah, I mean, we're going to start to see some things really shake up. So just want to share those numbers with you again about the Wild Pass, where the daily active accounts are, and then the other thing here, which I'll just close on. If we look at battles, so like the last month we had 53,000 battles, 53,000 on the 7-day. If we look at the 6-month average, 55,000. All right, so I guess total battles are all kind of the same. That hasn't really changed much, even though it looks like it's been a very clear like convergence of wild and modern. So the big shakeup is going to be what happens when survival mode comes out and how is that going to play into this. Obviously, there's a different kind of energy that's used. It's the card energy, but I'm digressing so much in this video now, so we'll save it for a future one. But that is all I have for you guys this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.